All right, buckle up, because the Amazing Digital Circus Episode 5 might be arriving sooner than anyone expected. After months of speculation, radio silence from the devs, and a fandom practically begging for crumbs, something big finally slipped through the cracks. Thanks to a now-deleted tweet from Washington State Summer Con, we may finally have confirmation of Episode 5's release date, and yeah, it's not that far away. Here's the deal. SummerCon briefly posted an announcement saying they'd be screening Episode 5 at their event between June 20th and 22nd, with cast members like Lizzie, Freeman, and Michael Kovach attending. Now, that post was taken down pretty fast, but not before someone grabbed a screenshot. Classic internet move. It didn't just mention a cast appearance, it explicitly talked about a special screening of the 5th episode. That's a major slip, especially since Glitch never officially confirmed the release window. Let's break it down. Glitch always releases new episodes on Fridays, and June 20th is a Friday. So this screening isn't just a random sneak peek. Odds are, Episode 5 is dropping online for everyone on Friday, June 20th, with SummerCon just getting a bonus live event with the cast. Unless Glitch surprises us with a limited premiere, this is probably the public launch date too. That gives us less than a month to get ready, and if you've been following Glitch's usual content rollout, you already know what that means. We're right on schedule for a trailer drop, most likely on June 6th. That's exactly 2 weeks ahead of the potential release date. Perfect timing to stir up hype. We might even see some teaser clips on social media before that. This also means WackyWatch.com could get a refresh soon. In past episodes, the site's been updated with hints about new settings or characters, so a new interface could clue us in on where Episode 5 takes place. Though right now, the best guess is still the rumored stadium-like location teased in early visuals. Here's where it gets more interesting. Gooseworks described Episode 5 as the silly before the storm. That phrase alone tells you everything. Yes, it might feel light, even chaotic on the surface, but it's clearly setting up for something way darker in Episode 6 and beyond. This is the calm before the narrative storm. Expect jokes, weirdness, and probably lots of visual gags, but also moments that hint at deeper emotional cracks. This show doesn't do just for fun without a twist. One of the biggest confirmed story developments is the spotlight on Jax and Ragatha. Gooseworks said they'll both be major players in Episodes 5 and 6, and fans are already speculating about what that means for their relationship. They've always had a weird energy, Jax constantly mocking Ragatha while she tries to play it cool and cheerful. But in Episode 4, under the influence of the stupid sauce, Ragatha let some real emotions out. She told Jax, "I hate you, but I don't want you to hate me." That's not sarcasm, that's vulnerability. She also snapped at Gangle and made some passive-aggressive comments about Pomni and Gummy Goo. So this whole silly episode might also deal with the fallout from Ragatha being brutally honest last time around. That brings us to the question, is Ragatha at risk of abstracting? Gooseworks has teased that Ragatha might not be okay, and her constant positivity could be a front. We saw Gangle's human backstory in Episode 4. It gave context to her shy, anxious personality. Maybe Episode 5 will do the same for Ragatha, finally showing us what she's hiding underneath that forced optimism. If she's been holding everything in for this long, this upcoming episode could be the breaking point, or the first major crack. And in a world like the digital circus, emotional instability often leads straight to abstraction. But Ragatha's not the only wild card. Jax is also walking a dangerous line. Gooseworks confirmed he's not evil just for laughs. He uses sarcasm and cruelty to protect himself emotionally. Feelings scare him. That's why he pushes people away. If Ragatha or someone else forces him to confront his emotions, really see himself, he might spiral in a completely different way. Gooseworks hinted that Jax will be tortured, but not in the physical sense. More like emotional or psychological breakdowns. The kind that happens when your walls finally crack. She even teased that we might see his room soon. If it turns out to be something unexpectedly soft or deeply personal, that alone could mess with our perception of him, and potentially his own identity. Let's not forget, the creators have likely been planning future episodes far ahead. That stadium-like setting teased last year? Maybe it shows up in episode 5, or maybe it's from a future episode already in production. The show doesn't necessarily follow a strict episode-to-episode continuity when it comes to locations. Either way, the next episode isn't just filler, it's planting the seeds for what's coming, and what's coming sounds serious. If this really is the silly before the storm, then someone is the storm. Someone's emotional arc is about to blow wide open. Let's talk Abstraction. It's the show's most terrifying mechanic and the ultimate emotional consequence. Right now, Ragatha feels like the most likely candidate. She's clearly unraveling, trying to hold herself together with optimism and forced cheer. But underneath, she's emotionally drained, and episode 4 already showed us glimpses of that collapse. The truth is, the show's been slowly building toward a major emotional fallout. Abstraction isn't just a threat, it's inevitable. We've seen side characters disappear, but we haven't yet lost one of the core cast. That makes it even more likely that someone big is about to go down. Episode 5 might just show the first real cracks, setting the stage, raising the stakes. But episode 6, that might be when everything finally shatters. So here's where we stand. Episode 5 is almost certainly dropping on June 20th, based on the Summer Con leak. A teaser trailer will likely drop around June 6th, keeping with Glitch's usual timing. The episode is being framed as the silly before the storm, so don't let the lighter tone fool you. It's likely setting up something devastating. Both Jax and Ragatha are in the emotional spotlight. Their dynamic, their vulnerabilities, and their emotional limits are all being tested. And Abstraction? It's not a matter of if anymore. It's when and who. We're now entering the second half of the season, and the tone is shifting. That early sense of absurd fun is starting to give way to something darker, something more emotionally grounded. We're no longer just watching silly digital avatars bounce around. We're watching them fracture, question reality, and possibly lose themselves. So what do you think? Is Ragatha already past her breaking point? Will Jax finally crack open and show us what he's hiding? Or is there another character, like Gangle or Pomni, who's been quietly unraveling under the radar? Let me know your theories in the comments. Smash that like button if you're excited or terrified for episode 5. And of course, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the full breakdown when the episode drops. Thanks for watching, and as always, piece by piece.